FlightBoss, bitch. And I want to talk about. Well, first of all, it's the mind of an Antares moon. I just came from where I originally be and where I live at, so you know what I'm saying. None of this knowledge has anything to do with me eating or anything. Where I originally live at, I don't. It's none of that. We don't even have feet, so I don't even really want to get into details of that though. But let's talk about the metaphysics behind the SuperBowl. And it is what it is. It's a big ass Super Bowl for the collective consciousness to jump in. You know what I'm saying? And then once the elites see this shit, like the government, Galactic Federation of Light, representations on Earth and shit like that, which is the government, police, and um, 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 some portions of the Illuminati. Like, I'm not gonna say all portions, like not Freemasonry and shit like that, but some of them too. You have good and bad ones too. Skull and Bones, the 13 families, which is the Rothschilds, the motherfucking Rockefellers, the motherfucking all these motherfuckers. Like, you could go look up all this shit, and I'm not here to do a history lesson for you. What I'm here to do is tell you what the fuck the Super Bowl is all about. And the Super Bowl is just one big ass bowl for the collective consciousness to jump in. And the people who deals with energies and shit like that, these are the people who's creating networks, who are creating channels, programs and shit like that. All these things are exactly what they are. Don't try to separate when somebody telling you that don't get programmed by these programs. Don't try to separate it. Don't try to separate that concept from the actual programs. What do you think they call TV channels and the stations and the shows that come on there? They're programs. Like, that's what they call them. Before you have people talking about the metaphysics behind the words and shit like that. The actuality of it is programs. These are television programs. It's like they can't lie to you. That's just like, no matter who you are or where are your signs at in your planets, if it's all your signs are going to be filtered through your sun sign. So at the end of the day, certain phrases and words you say, you have no choice but to say it. Like, I could sit here and listen to a person's conversation and know off the bat what sign it is, either from the rising, the moon, or the sun. But that's a little advanced for me, because I could off the bat know. See, look, the first thing with me is, when you start talking, the first thing that's apparent is your body language. Your body language is going to show me if I'm actually interacting with a person's sun or rising. You know what I'm saying? Never the moon. When you get in deep conversation or a person started really expressing themselves in a certain way, till you see what they do, their main innate what they do, when just no matter what, the true nature of what they would do in that situation, and that's the moon sign, and that's why the moon sign is most important. But when you want to, everything is important just for its own reasons. If the first thing I do when I'm talking to somebody, I can break down what they are. First thing I'm seeing is, do the body language. That's gonna let me know if I'm actually talking to a rising or the sun. And then I can once I break those codes, because you can't hide that from me. My awareness is high. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very gentle to the spirit, to the energies. You know what I'm saying? So I know which energy is coming from what, because actually I don't even live on Earth anyway. So I'll be able to see what color you frequentizing with and all that shit. But other than that, like, first I break that down. Then it's like I was saying, there's only certain words you would say anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come across a lot of fire signs, they have no choice but to say, man, my shit hot. Like, whatever conversation they in, or something that has to do like, man, shit was heating up over there, or something like that, whatever like that, or shit like that. You catch water signs, they have no choice but to say shit like, man, I was just going with the flow, man. Man, just go with it, man. Don't try to see it. Just go with it and play your position and shit like that. That kind of mind state. You have no choice but that type of shit to come out your mouth. Air sign. They always talk about, man, I'm psychic, or Man, what the fuck was he thinking? Why I ain't thinking like that. These niggas don't even be thinking out here, man. For real, man. I can tell what a person it's something always got to do with thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Air signs who don't know about this shit is unaware, but this is what they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Earth sign. They always talk about something practical. You talking about a person, if you talking to a person that's an earth sign and you telling them what you need to do with your car and shit like that, they gonna tell you like, shit, man, you should do that, man, because you never know when that might happen again. You never know when your tire might get flat again. That's why it's always good to put some money up for this. You know what I'm saying? This is how they talk. Practice sudden shit. Solid. Words like solid and foundation and building. Words like this naturally comes out their mouth. And you could, like, people who are unaware of astrology and metaphysics and philosophy and all that shit, they catch themselves neglecting this kind of information. At the same time, they act as babies in the brain, because babies are the most sensitive to the energies, and they play these out the most. Just watch a kid. A kid is acting out these more than any human that's trapped in 3D can ever play these things. And being trapped in 3D is actually like having trials and tribulations within life. That means you've been absorbed by the things of this world, and you're not of this world. You're in this world, you're not of this world, but you've been trapped in paradigms and programs that's of this world, which is things and programs and energies that mankind created to control a portion of mankind. So this is what you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, as far as jobs and the money, energy, and all that shit. But back to the Super Bowl, I'm not jumping in one big ass consciousness bowl. You know what I'm saying? And then once you jump in this big ass bowl, the Galactic Federation like to look at this big ass Super Bowl, and y'all do what it want with all the consciousness souls in it, with all the spirits and energy in it that God done gave it. Y'all fill this bowl up every year. It's not like it's a lot of people out here not watching the Super Bowl. The majority of America is watching, and partially other countries. So this is like a big ass bowl that they can always count on getting filled up every year. And then they do it on a Sunday. And then this another thing too, like you got all these shows out here and shit trying to promote not legalizing marijuana. In the same sense, when everybody jump in this big ass consciousness bowl, the first programs be alcohol. And then they put it on a Sunday, which we all know all liquor stores don't even be open on Sundays. So then they make make everybody go to one liquor place that got the Sunday liquor license, and then make each other kill themselves because y'all in line and y'all ready to go back home, but the line's so long you might miss some of the game. So it's just crazy how they can just do what they want with y'all. Like they promote movies on their agenda, dealing with everybody in this big ass consciousness Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They promote movies with movie programs, dealing with commercials about new movies that nobody really should care about going to see. You know what I'm saying? All this shit. But it can't lie. See, reason why I said you shouldn't go see is because if you're not mentally and consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, and consciously aware of what's going on, then it's so easy for you to get in programs. It's easy for people who are aware to be in programs. So you think niggas ain't gonna be? That's just like the religion program with dealing with Christianity. Okay, in the Bible, it sit up there and explain through almost all the verses that the devil, the way he come as a beautiful lie. He's beautiful. So when he come, you would never know he come as the truth. You would think as he false. And then they make it stop there. Without understanding, you just jumped into a program and not being able to look at things subjectively. You missed the point that if the devil was to come, why wouldn't he come in the Bible form? Why wouldn't he come as he's God and he's explaining what he's actually doing in the Bible? Why wouldn't he come like that? Why wouldn't he come as explaining the story of what happened in the Garden of Eden, and then actually be the God? But put that in a story for you to believe that's what the devil will do. At the same time, playing a trick on you. That's what he's doing. And he's not dumb, so why wouldn't he have more than half of the percentage of the world believing that? And the people who's trapped in this program believe that the Bible is showing them the truth, when in reality the Bible is showing them what the devil is doing, and he's doing it. Once you read the Quran and that and the story behind Muhammad and all that, then you start to understand that all these motherfuckers was just one nigga coming back in different forms, but it was the same nigga kicking the same knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And it's a nigga who learned how to bring himself back, which he's dealing with a snake energy. You know what I'm saying? And what's the serpent in the Bible? A snake. So he's telling you about himself while being the God in the Bible. And then all he do is equate a lot of shit to Saturn. It's like, people don't even understand this shit, man. And sometimes I get frustrated with even trying to sit here and talk to people, and I don't do that. But you have a lot of people, you have a lot of lost false claim people who claim to know what you're talking about, and then once you get into it, you start to realize where they mind lay at. And I'm not the person to oppose my opinions on people unless they want it. Because the way I am, I'm glad I was even born in the area I am, because I'm very witty and very smart, and I can jump on any level plane that anyone is on. Like when I talk to a nigga and they claim they up here and they really down here, I could jump down there and fuck with you. I could jump down there and get my feet wet and bring you to where I'm at in a way that you didn't even know that's what I was doing, because I'm very versatile. I'm not no suburb person who grew up, went to school. I didn't even graduate from high school. Nigga, I didn't grow up, went to school, graduate, go to college, learn philosophy, did all this, then come back and kick some shit that one of my teachers to tell me, and then it sounded like my brain was a recorder, and all I did was dub a tape and push play anytime I get a chance to, and then when I'm running on and talking about all this shit, it sound like it's for real, but it's disingenuous because it's not my own experience. And then once I put my own experience behind it, you still living off that program of being taught or being tutored or being in school or having some type of discipline towards the shit. So you're not using people who you look. The one thing about philosophy that they wouldn't even understand is people who use profanity are naturally people who express their true self more than people who are opposed into saying certain things just because of what kind of area they're in. It's like the shit goes down deep. But to even talk to somebody who's made it off astrology and stuff like that, you have to listen to them and really take in with take their body movements and shit like that, and understand that they're limited. They're limited to a lot of the knowledge based upon how they received it in the first place. The shit is like a talent. It's really in you or it ain't, and you really have to look at it like that. This shit is just in me. Nobody had to teach me shit. Nobody had to do nothing. I freestyle this shit off the top of my head and put pieces together, and that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? The shit ain't hard because the shit, God gave us the knowledge and the brain matter to actually understand all this. So once we get into schooling and all that shit like that, these are programs with agendas behind them. And even though a lot of this shit might be telling you the truth, it still have an agenda behind it. So the truth behind it is placed in another direction other than the divine truth. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of conversation is warranted for another video, because this goes into other shit, as into energy fields and all that shit. And this video, I just want to talk about one portion of that. And that's the super big ass consciousness bowl, and everybody like to jump into when they watch the game, and the collective consciousness is watching the game. So I'm just letting you know what they're doing to you in a time of you giving your energy and your spirit out to this source. And you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be putting movie programs in your brain. You're gonna want to watch a lot of movies that they're promoting. You're gonna want to go get some alcohol. You're gonna want to go get some chicken wings and shit like that. You're gonna want to go get and don't get me wrong. I enjoy all these things, but I can, because I'm on a different time span. I'm on a different consciousness level. If I'm watching the Super Bowl, I'm not in the Super Bowl. I'm looking at everything with my eye instead of these two eyes. So I'm fighting programs and all this shit as we speak. There's a lot of programs that's going on in my brain that's going to make me say certain things in this video to make me waste time and steer me away from the actual subject of this video. Like, there's entities out here. People need to understand that. You have to keep your guard up all times. This is not some shit like you could go to war and then wake up one day and feel like, man, I'm taking a break today. No, life is hard and it's not, life is easy. So once you understand the polarity of it, there's things you have to do no matter what time of the day to keep up on your game to make other portions of your day go easy. For you can say life is easy. You're always working on polarities, man. Never forget that. And when you're doing one more than the other, it's an imbalance. If you're taking it easy more than being concerned and having a sermon, then that's an unbalance. You're going to see that. You're going to get that feedback. You know what I'm saying? If you're being too hard and not letting yourself be easygoing sometimes, then you're creating an imbalance. You're going to see that. There's always shit you have to keep in polarity and keep in place. You know what I'm saying? And once you get your brain trained on that, you know what I'm saying, it'll be something like you just do naturally, man. Your soul will go with that shit, man. Like, you connect your mind, body, and soul. Your body is your sun, your mind is your moon, your soul is your rising. That's not hard. Like, that's not hard. You know what I'm saying? So, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? The Father is the mind, the Son is the body, the Holy Spirit is the soul. Like, that's the religions try to create other shit to make you, like I said, it's truth to that. There are three. The Holy Trinity, there's truth to that. But the truth is steered in another direction. And I'm putting it back in the right direction for y'all. Don't look at it like that. Just look at it like it's the three eyes. The sun, moon, and the rising. So, you know what I'm saying? Your mind, body, and soul. That's the truest of it. When you get into the Holy Trinity and Father, Son, Holy Spirit and all this other shit, that's when it's truth steered in another direction with agendas behind it. And just take that little piece of information and apply that to everything. Listen, when you see one thing, it's not just that. Everything goes like that. Like when we create cars and clocks and wheels, don't just think that's work for just that. Everything is like that. From the planets to everything work the same way. So don't ever forget that, man. And don't jump into this big super consciousness bowl, this big ass consciousness Super Bowl without opening your eye. Your eye so you can realize things. Open your real eyes so you can realize things. And this way, enjoy yourself. But I'm here talking to the Pacific people who's trying to be aware and they're not yet. A lot of y'all need to build y'all willpower and just not watch this. Do not watch the Super Bowl. And don't participate in it and align yourself doing something else that you truly love doing in replacement of that. You'll see benefits, man. FlightBoss, bitch. For sure. O's, grams, and flights.